Hello, family and friends, new subscribers and old, man. Welcome back to my channel, Keeping It Real Big D. I am your host. What's going on, everybody, man? I just thought I'd just drop a little topic right now. This is my opinion, episode number 2, and I think it's a good one concerning, about our voting rights and actually our history. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not the best educated when it comes to, democracy and knowing everything on, the Democratic Party, Republican Party, and also, all these other parties that take place, man. You're, like I said, whether you're Democrat or Republican or you could be independent. It's funny because back in the days, truly, to be honest with you, people do say, man, people perish because of lack of knowledge. That's Bible. And, people say, if you're not educated, then you ain't learning, or you ain't knowing, to be honest with you. And through all my life, man, especially through my early 20s, man, like I said, I was down with the Republican Party, Independent Party, Democratic Party. It was pretty much, pretty sad to say it was the gangster party, man, to be honest with you. That's all I cared about, when I was growing up. Didn't care about education, history, and so forth, man. And to be honest with you, life in perspective. I just thought I was going to be a young, Chicano man, being a statistic and, everyday politics, pushing back and forth and dealing with my own issues and everything else. And I didn't think I was going to see, live too long, to be honest with you, to make you know, an impact in today's society or, even more than that, to tell you the truth, man. So, like I said, throughout the years, man, as certain things have changed in my life and as many others, we start, start gravitating to or things that that are important to us, to be honest with you. And as I start learning, I self myself as a self-importance, and then also contributing to my marriage, having a child, raising a family. And then I started building interest in getting back to the political party, man. Getting back to what voting rights and everything else comes with it, our privilege and our rights as Americans. And I think it's very important that we all dab into it, one way or another, especially teaching our young youth, man. I still know a lot of people that, they're not interested in doing any politician or voting or have any care whatsoever when it comes to, these type of, I mean, days that are in preparation, to be honest with you. And Penny, be quiet, Penny, please. Penny, excuse me for that. But like I said, coming down to the realistics, man, we do make an impact, and we do have something that's very important that we should handle and make sure we use our rights. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to freedom of speech and everything else that we want, that that we can have, freedom of bearing arms and so forth, man. We want to display those our rights, because it's part of our Constitution and it's part of us as an American. So, it's crazy because one thing of being best about, being American is you have, freedom and you have rights, and, these rights are very important, but they come with the standard, as far as participating and as far as, being involved in nominating, our elected government officials, to be honest with you. That's what it's coming down to. And so, like I said, man, it's I know it's an opinion, man, and rather, some of us don't know what's in the ballot. What's for, if you're a Democratic, are you a Republican, are you independent, what party are you contributing to? And it's a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. And like I said, go into your history, man. Depending what state you're, what state you come from, what your city officials, what you want, representing you, to basically, to be honest with you. You got your local city, then you got your state, right? You got your governors, and you got your city officials, your council members. And like, to be honest with you, these last couple of weeks over here in LA, I seen some, horrific demonstration of officials, in the Latin community, man, displaying their characteristics, talking about, the black community and so forth. And that's what I'm saying. That's the importance of us having our rights and, contributing back, and making sure we're putting the right people who want us to represent us, because those people that were, disclaiming that and talking all that nonsense, a couple of weeks ago, I think the lady, the female, the one that was the main one talking, she resigned, and you got another guy or that's in there that's one's on his way out already, so they don't want to, bring him back to ballot and trying to get him out. The other one has 2 years, and I think it's only right, man. If you're there's gonna be discrimination, amongst color, race, or anything else, you shouldn't be representing your city. But let's talk about another thing. What I'm saying, what are in your comments, man? If you would please, man. This is how we share with with amongst each other's opinion is leave in the comments, man. What are the things that are bothering you today in today's life, to tell you the truth, in today's everyday living? And what I mean by that, it's out there. You can see it. It's on black and white, man. You can change it all to all the news channels that are out there, and you can see it all over the internet where people are concerned about, man. And one thing where it's hitting my pockets, to be honest with you, it's gas prices. You know, gas prices is one of the main things that's just like, man, it's killing me, man. So, and another thing is inflation, to be honest with you, right? Inflation's is crazy. Everything's going up, you know, food's going up, everything else that has to do with it. You know what I mean? If cotton's going up, you know, the clothes are prices are going to go up and so forth. And, you know what I mean? If the farmers are getting taxed for gas and everything else, they're going to raise the prices. Eggs are going up, milk's going up. Everything's just pretty much ridiculous. And that's the thing that's bothering me right now. You know, safety, to be honest with you, you know, border control, you know, the border control is it's a hard topic when it comes to Latina and Chicano and Mexican, or, you know, like I said, Latin community, you know, because, you know, we have laws over here, right? That's the way, when I came into this country, that's the way it was already implemented. And throughout the years, you know, gradually this country has grown, has, you know, I mean, they come down with more amendments, right? You know, our First Amendment, Second Amendment, and so forth, right? And throughout the years, as you can see, man, you know, since the early stages, you know, I'll give a little history, man, when it comes down to what I know, to be honest with you, as far as when it comes to politics, you know. I know in the early, when America was developing, you know, there was only certain people that were able to grow, you know, and that was amongst the white man, you know what I mean, farmers, obviously, and, you know, farmers and the white man are the one that I remember most, man, if I do a little bit of government. You know, those are the first ones that were, you know, if you were Caucasian, if you were white, then you had voting rights, and everybody else didn't. You know, Native Americans, you know, Chicano Latin Americans, you know, blacks didn't have a right, Asians didn't have a right. It was just all politically, it was just all white men. You know, from that point, it was farmers. You know, why why farmers? Well, because they're in the fourth. They thought that since they were able to provide, you know, and growth the company, that they had a right, you know, I mean, the first rights, you know, to be like, hey, man, I'm over here providing for the country. We put food and sources on the food on the table, and I think we should, you know, we're owners and so forth, and you know, I think we have a right. That's a little, you know, a little assumption that I got when I was in class. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your government history. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I mean, the whole thing, like I said, in the Democratic, you know, and all the process, man, it's us trying to, you know what I mean, vote for the community, you know, be a representative of the community. That's the way it was. And like I said, throughout the years, man, you know, it started from this way. Then later on in the years, things started breaking barriers, right? So, you know, the chance to vote begins to, you know, with us, you know, to be honest with you, you know, it wasn't always the case, like I said, you know what I mean? Like I said, to gradually throughout the years, you know, our voting rights have extended. You know, early years in America, only a small percentage were, like I say, were about to vote. Like I told you guys, it was farmers and white Caucasian people, and 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 like I said, even adults. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And it's crazy how things have changed. You know, now, you know what I mean, they changed the amendments, and now I think they're trying to put up in the ballot. You know, you want to be 18 years old and so forth. But like I said, man, these are that's not, it's border, like when I'm going back to border, you know, situation, you know, me being a brown man, you know what I mean, it's hard, man, because you know, you don't want to see, you know, your race, or you know, we're supposed to be supporting our community, our race, and everything else, so forth. But I can, in all honesty, I can only support the people that are here in America already. You know, legalize, or getting their citizenship, or working on it. You know, I'm against, you know, things that are breaking the law. Even though I used to break a gang of laws, you know, who knows where I should be at right now, to tell you the truth, with all the laws that I've broken. But some ways, some we get away with some situations, and we learn from them. And I'm blessed and fortunate to know that I was able to get a, you know what I mean, have a second, third chance, fourth, fifth chance in life, and now I'm in a position to do the right thing, and that's where I'm at. You know. So, you know, if there's laws that are going to be breaking, taking places, you know what I mean, like they say, man, come through the front door. You know, like I said, the border is another situation, man. You shouldn't be, you know, going through the back or trying to sneak over. I know there's desperation. I know there's a lot of hardship in other countries, kind of. But like I said, if I break the law, right? If I was drinking and driving, I'm going to jail, right? That's just plain and simple. It's a law, you know. People coming from other states, you know, illegally, you know what I mean, undocumented. I hate to use the word aliens, but I say undocumented, you know, American citizens, you know, that's illegal. That's against the law. So borders another control, you know what I mean? It's another thing that I'm, you know, concerned about, you know, people coming in from other countries and stuff like that, when we already have to take, care of the responsibility of our people here. It feels, some people say it takes away the job. Some people say it overcrowds the classrooms and so forth, right? And it does. If you start looking at the numbers, man, if they start saying like, analytics will say everything, man. The news, they'll say like, oh man, well, 3 million, 4 million American undocumented people came on this country. Well, guess what? A lot of our children, our people are having pregnancy, and they come over the sacrifice that people have to be done, and the horrific journey that they go through. They come here and they find freedom, and it takes a little bit of a little referendum in our communities, right? Because now we got, the hospitals go up. They got to give birth to the children. And one thing about America, man, we take care of our people, though. If you can make it this far, it's a blessing, man. Because the hospitals and everything else, they're going to do what they have to do in order to make sure society and humanity is perpetrated in the best way it can. So that's what we could say. But like I said, border control is one, crime's another one. I know both sides of the fence when it comes to that part. When it comes to crime, I was a bad character. I wasn't a law-abiding citizen. I was breaking the laws, doing damage. But I paid my price. I paid my dues. I did my time. Wherever it was at, man. I have a lot of injuries. And I have a lot of mistakes that are filling up. Not educated. That are taking matters throughout my life, and it's just like, man, this wasn't a career. So now I try to learn. These are adolescents that I learned, and this is stuff that I'm trying to get involved in. And so now, it's still my citizen right, despite, all the mistakes that I made, the United States, this country that was founded by, freedom and liberty and everything else that comes behind it. I'm still able to express myself. I'm still able to go out there and use my rights. I'm able to vote, despite if I was an ex-gang member, made a lot of mistakes. The country's not really holding me bad for it, man. So, that's one thing that I appreciate, man. Now, there's some things, like I said, so now it comes down to the ballots, right? So after that, like I said, gun, food, economy, gas, border, there's all kinds of crimes going on. People are just crazy. This world and this part of the town, this part of the world is, it's the time, it's the season that's taking place, man, and everybody's probably talking about it. So my second question will be to you, man, and like I said, it's just my opinion. If you guys gonna vote, man, make sure you drop on and say, hey, man, I'm voting tomorrow. Hey, man, give me your opinion, right? This is, I say, episode number 2, opinion number 2. And, we want to, make sure that, we're just participating in which, a right is given, because, we always say we want to make a difference and we want to make changes and everything else. But, how could you say that when you're not participating? If you don't want to eat beans and rice all the time, hey, you got to participate. If you don't want to put, pay gas, high gas taxes and all that stuff, you got to participate. If you feel there's wrong with the borders or anything that's bothering you that you think that's taking place, there's things that, abortion rights and everything else, man, get up and vote for the person that's, your leaders that are representing your community. That's the thing that I'm trying to say. We already passed all the history where, how voting came and where we came from. Back then, before the Revolutionary War, only white men, like I told you, always able to vote. After that, the 15th Amendment, so many amendments that came out and said, hey, well, it started this, like, hey, the first African American was able to vote. Now the women were able to vote. Now teens are able to vote. Now this is where we're at now. That's what I'm trying to say. In life, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's just the way I see it. Today, man, it's just about casting, you're right, your literacy, and, you got your poll taxes. I understand a lot of people don't understand what voting is. Pick up a ballot, read it, learn from it, so that's a thing that I look forward and like I'm doing. So I'll show you guys something, this is how much, like I said, I keep it real so you guys can know. This is a ballot right here, right? It says right there. I'm gonna show my name and all that stuff, And actually, I got 2 of them because this goes to show that me and my wife are gonna vote. And my wife's an ex-con herself. To be honest with you, my wife's been in prison, 10 years of prison. And we come out of the system being a law-abiding citizens. People do change sometimes. Not everybody's the same way, but I think after 1920, to be honest with you, a little historical, I was reading, from what I remember, as things have changed, man. Like I said, the world, keeps turning, it keeps improving. But it seems like sometimes we take 10 steps forward and 20 steps back. That's just the way it is, man. Indians were able to like I said, man, they're able to vote. Look how far, women were able to vote. African Americans were able to vote. Hispanic, Latino were able to vote. So throughout these years, if we have got to have these privileges and they were granted to us because we fought hard, imagine trying to fight hard too because we want our voice to be heard. But now in today's society, when it comes down to voting, nobody wants to do it. I mean, why did our forefathers get involved back then so much? As far as like, hey, I want my rights. I want my rights. Shout out to Martin Luther King and so forth. Cesar Chavez. Nobody does it perfectly, but look at everybody was being suppressed, man. People got killed. Trying to choose the right party, Democratic Party, right, Republican Party, because we're not going to be suppressed. The whole purpose is making sure that we get heard, right? We want to be heard, and our opinion does matter. So guess what, man? You got to take a pen, and you got to take a piece of paper, and you got to go and this voting right. You got to take advantage of your voting rights. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has a corridor, right? Everybody has you got to make a government or a status. Let me tell you something, man. Even being a gang member, we have government status. You know what I'm saying? You got your presidents. If you look at Mongols and everything, you got your president, your vice president, and so forth. Man, everybody has to be governed, right? Whether with an iron fist or with the freedom of democracy. You know what I mean? I choose to be freedom. I hate to display it, but I'll use an example, man. Right? That's the way it is. You got your presidents, your vice presidents, and you got your senators, your leaders, and that's the only way a group of people can be structured is by government. To be honest with you, but with rights, you go to other countries, man, they're taking all your rights away. They don't care what you are. Some are governed with iron fist. Some are like in Afghanistan. They're going to be controlled by the gangsters, Taliban. They ain't no part of politician. They're just straight, gangsters, and they do their own thing. They just display it in a different way, their own different group, and they're all about terrorists. So what are gang members? They consider us today as terrorists. So it's the same thing, man. But everybody, government or every gang or every motorcycle crew or every little group, whatever you're involved in, to be honest with you, has a teacher, a governor, a king, a queen, and so forth, man. Even in religion, right? There's God, the Father, the Holy Spirit, man. The structure, right? And it's sad because that's the way the society and men have to be displayed and represented, and that's just the way it is. If you really look at it, there's nothing hard about, about trying to understand, officially and how to be run and what kind of, whose party you're going to be involved in. In my house, I'm the president, right? My wife's a vice president. My daughter, she's a senator or so forth, or actually she's the people for the people. But we have a lot of power. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody talks about, oh, this is for the people. I'm from the people, for the people, blah, 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 blah. No, this is how, you are the people. You have an opportunity. You have a Voting Rights Act. You could go and you can make a difference, man. And I'm going to participate in something that's going to help the community or not help the community. I'm tired of hearing other people, other YouTubers and their channels saying, well, I'm this and that. I'm me. Nah, it's not about me, man. There's no I in team. You know what I'm saying? If we have something, hey, we're all struggling, right? I want to hear from my Latina Chicana community, man, my supporters, people who see this, man, people who are racist, not racist, my bad, people who are in the Latino community, black race, Mexican race, Hispanic race, Asian race. We should come together, man, and make sure that we put the right people in. This is what really matters, man, not the person that's behind the wall on the screen saying, hey, I'm for the community, this, that, but nothing's being done. You know what I'm saying? I need people with action. Where we go out as all a community, ex-gang members, this, rich here, poor there, struggling here, struggling there. We go together and we use our dividends right, man. We go out and we vote. This is what being an American is all about. And I say, like, 10 years ago, you would not even see me making this video. But like I said, man, thank God for YouTube that we could come on and we could voice our opinion, man. Voting is not neither right or wrong, to be honest with you. I'm not going to be mad at you because you vote for, the blue party, we'll say, right? I'm not going to be mad at you if you vote for the red party, to be honest with you. I'm not going to be mad if you vote independence. I'm not even going to be mad at you if you don't vote at all. But know your importance, know your value as an American citizen. That you do matter and that your voice means a lot. And then your opinions, they do change things. Your voting can change a lot of things in your community, in your city, in your state, and that's what it's all about. I'm pretty sure you could go to YouTube and you could find out, like, hey, man, the more history about voting, hey, my things, go into it, go check it out. You know, I dabbed into. I look at social media all day. I look at TV. I look at news, and it's just like, man. So it's all about making some critical decisions, you know, because I'm still learning right now who I'm going to find out who I'm going to vote for, because there's this ballot, and some of these things takes place, and they really are hitting the home right now. I know a friend, for instance, you know, I got a friend, you know, now because of government, you know, his things have been changing in the medical position, because, you know, that's how they treat us, like pawns sometimes. And that's sad, is because if the person that you vote for don't really care for me. You know, they say they do, they talk they do, and they, you know, it's just like YouTube or anything else, man. Hey, I have you, I got your back, this and that, you know, we're all friends, just support my channel, keep giving me money, keep this, and in the end, they don't even give a damn about you, you know what I'm saying? Because what are they doing for you, right? What is it, well, the person you vote for, what are they doing for you? You know what I'm saying? What are the YouTubers, or what is this neighborhood, or what is this political party, what are they doing for you, to be honest with you? Besides, you know what I mean, you're on there giving them money, expecting a change and this and that. It's just like, hey, it ain't gonna work, man, you know? It's just, I feel the last, you know what I mean, 2 years, you know what I mean? Uh, um, the president that you know, I participated and didn't win, you know, and since that point, I feel that Americans had took a turn, and you know, we dove in a different direction, you know. There's still some rights that are displaying, and people are the characteristics and what they believe in. It's being more published out there, but I don't have to agree with that. You know, just because you agree with this doesn't mean that you get me involved with it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to participate, and then if I don't, you have to hang me for it. That's not the way government works. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way. You know, but you got people in higher places, they, you know what I mean, that they're not, you know, the officials that you want them, or the representative you want them to be, right? You get swindled. You know what I'm saying? And that's your fault, because you're not educating yourself. You're not telling yourself and reminding yourself. You don't look what you could see. Just, you know, you got to feel it. You know, educate yourself and make sure, like, you know, hey, Big D, okay, so he's done this, and Big D's done that, and Big D's done that. Just like, man, you know, I can't really vote for the guy. You know what I'm saying? He has a bad rep. You know what I'm saying? He looks good in this. It looks good in black and white, right? But when the reality comes, man, you know, it's just, it's a lie. So, like I said, man, you know, it's just a little bit of something. Just like I said, this is episode number 2. This is my opinion, man. You know, let me know who's gonna vote and who's not gonna vote. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, you know, what you're voting for. Let me know if you know what, you know what I mean, what, you know, voting is. You know, to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows what, you know, you have a right to vote. That's period. If anything I could say in this episode number 2, in my opinion, man, everybody that's American citizen has a right to vote, and that's one of the beauty things about it. You know, so take advantage of it. You know what I mean? It could help out your kids. It could help out the seniors. It could help out those who are struggling with their, you know what I mean, with their medical, you know, their pharmacists and all this other stuff. Because, you know, some of these, you know, bills right here can hurt an individual, to be honest with you. You know, some of these, you know, I mean, whatever they put on the on the ballot, you know, can actually harm a, you know, individual. I see, like, hey, you know, for the fire department, for the hospital department, for this department, for this, you know, people are not getting their medications because high prices, this, you know, this and that. You really got to be careful. See, that's another harder thing. That's another thing. So before you make that ballot and that vote, you got to make sure who you're voting for, like I told you guys, man. And that's what I'm saying. So, you know, I thought I'd just come out here, man. Like I said, this is episode number 2. Um, Giving you my opinion. You know, this is my opinion, and hopefully you like it, man. Hopefully you guys subscribe, and you know, you guys. Hopefully I can see you guys in the ballot tomorrow and making that difference, man. Whether you're in my state, my county, Northern County, Southern County, Las Vegas, you know what I mean, Kern County, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially for the young, you know, the young generation, you got to know who your rights are, because you know our rights have been fought from the very beginning. If you know the history of rights, man, like I said, it was only the white man and the farmers and those people that were able to vote from the very beginning. Throughout the years since this country has grown, you know what I mean, our black community was able to write, our native community was able to write, our Latino community was able to vote, you know, had our rights, you know what I mean, we have the right freedom of speech. Then women had the rights, you know what I mean, they changed the voting ballot from 21 years old to 18 years old, and throughout the Vietnam War. So our opinions and our voice do matter. That's why we rally and we get together, right? And that's what this is, man. So like I said, man, I thought I'd drop a little knowledge, man. Like I said, man, I'm letting you know, your man of the hour, your boy Big D. I will be voting tomorrow. Doesn't matter what I vote, right? It's just it's what I believe in, you know, and what's right and what's wrong. And from my understanding, to be honest with you, just a little class in there, a little education. If you're dumb brained and you don't know who to vote, you can leave it blank. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? From the last couple of years I did it. So you know, make sure you review your ballots. You know, make sure you review, you know, all your proposition. This, you know, everything's a proposition, right? I propose to you. You know, make sure you get involved in that. Make sure you read it. You know, I mean, twice. You know, use your education. You know, you got Google. You know, we got people that are into the parties and stuff like that, know a lot of what is what and what's not and what's not. So, like I said, man, I appreciate this one, man. You know, thanks for coming back. This is an important topic, man. You know, I only talk about and discuss matters that are important, that's relative in our lives, and things that are happening where you can make the change or we can stay stagnant. That's up to you, man. So, you know, I'm glad, like I said, welcome back, family, man. Appreciate it. I'm on my way out. As you can see right now in Southern California, it's raining. Loving the weather, man. You know, but hey, it's some cold times right now, and let's make those cold decisions. You know what I'm saying? That's just basically it, man. You know. With that being said, it's your boy Big D, and I appreciate you. Appreciate all my subscribers. Appreciate all my friends and all those who are coming from. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this algorithm because it's not about me. It's about us. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to do. With that being said, it's your boy Big D. Bah, and I'm out.